Hello and welcome to another video on this channel. Some time ago we saw the list of documents that you have to take along with you to your diversity visa interview, and one of those documents is police certificate. Police certificates are somewhat special when it comes to required documents because depending on where you once lived, you may have to submit more than one police certificate as part of your diversity visa application. And so in this video, we will be considering the different aspects relating to police certificates that you have to obtain as a diversity visa applicant. So let's go into that. Welcome back to this discussion. Let us begin by looking at who on your diversity visa case does the issue of police certificates concern. In other words, who on your case needs to submit police certificates? And the answer to that is anyone who is 16 years old or older. And that would generally include the principal applicant, their spouse if they are married, as well as their older children. Now, there is an exception to the 16 years of age or older age range. We will come to that in a moment, but before we do, let us move on to our next point, which is what are the countries where you need to get a police certificate from if you are concerned. And there are a number of them, the first being your country of nationality. Once you have lived in your country of nationality for at least 6 months, you are required to submit a police certificate from your country of nationality. And this is going to include most of those who are concerned by the issue of police certificates because most people have lived in their country of nationality for at least 6 months. The next country you are required to obtain a police certificate from is your country of current residence in case that country is not your country of nationality. So once you have lived in another country for at least 6 months and that country is not your country of nationality, you also need to provide a police certificate from your country of current residence. Now, the third country where you are required to obtain police certificates from is any other country or countries where you live for at least 12 months since turning 16. So it's your country of nationality, your country of current residence, and then any other country where you lived for at least 12 months since you turned age 16. Now, all of this concerns applicants who are 16 years old or older. Now, the fourth country where you are required to obtain police certificates from is any country where you were arrested. And this is the exception that I spoke about earlier. Once you were arrested in a country, you are required to provide police certificate from that country where you were arrested, no matter your age at the time of your arrest or how long you lived in that country. So this is the exception to the 16 years or older age range that I spoke about at the beginning. Now, another thing I must also include is that you are not required to obtain police certificates from the United States. So if any of the countries that we spoke about happens to be the United States in your specific case, you are not required to obtain police certificates from the United States. Now, let's consider the criteria that your police certificate has to meet. The first of those criteria is your police certificate has to be issued by the appropriate police authority from that country. So it is not just any agency that should issue you your police certificate, it has to be the appropriate police authority. The next thing is your police certificate has to cover the length of time you lived in that country, especially if it is not your country of nationality. And thirdly, if you were arrested, your police certificate has to cover all of your arrests, the reasons for those arrests, as well as the outcomes of any court cases that are on record. So those are the three criteria that police certificates have to meet. Next is the validity of police certificates. Police certificates are now valid for 2 years. So if you happen to obtain a police certificate, it is valid for the next 2 years to come. Now, there is an exception to that in case you obtain a police certificate from a country where you used to live before, but since obtaining that police certificate, you have not returned to that country. In that case, even if your police certificate is more than 2 years old, it is acceptable for the diversity visa program. And finally, how do you obtain police certificates? When it comes to obtaining police certificates, each country has its own guidelines. In some countries, you only need to address a simple request, whereas in others, you need to submit a specific police certificate request form. There are countries where police certificates are not available. Now, when it has to do with their country of current residence, most people are aware of how to go about obtaining police certificates. But even if they are not aware, they have access to the appropriate police authorities and they can get relevant information from them. But when it has to do with a country or countries that they once lived in, then usually they do not have relevant information. And that is why on the official website of the State Department, there is a page where you can find information regarding obtaining police certificates from countries around the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include a link to that page in the description of this video. And in addition to that, I'm going to lead you to that webpage in a moment, and we will see how to find information relating to obtaining police certificates from a country. You begin by clicking the link that is in the description of this video, and that is going to take you to this page, which is the State Department Reciprocity by Country page. Once on this page, you may need to scroll down a bit, and then on the left side, you will find the various letters of the alphabet, which represent the first letter in the names of countries. In our example, we are in search of information relating to police certificates from Nigeria. So we are going to click on the letter N because it is the first letter in the country name Nigeria. Once we click on that, it's going to take us to the next page. And then on the same left side, we have the list of countries that begin with the letter N. We have to scroll down that page and locate Nigeria. Nigeria is somewhere at the bottom here. So our next move will be to click on the country Nigeria, and then it's going to take us to the country specific page, the page that relates to the country of Nigeria. As you can see, Federal Republic of Nigeria. On this page, we will have to scroll down once again and then search for the appropriate information that we are in search of. As you can see, there are other forms of civil documents, not only police certificates. Here we have police, court, prison records. Next, we will have to click on this link. It's going to open the information that relates to police, court, and prison records. In the first place, we have court prison records, but that is not what we are interested in. We move further down to police certificates, and then as you can see, there is information regarding police certificates from Nigeria. We have the fees, the name of the document, that is police character certificate, issuing authority, which is the Nigeria Police, and then we scroll down to see more information relating to police certificates from Nigeria. We have the procedure for obtaining police certificates from Nigeria. This is the information that we are in search of. So this is how you go about finding information relating to obtaining police certificates from any country. First, click the link in the description of this video and follow the procedure that we just used. Now, two things before we end. If you happen to visit the page of a country where you are supposed to submit police certificates from, and you find that police certificates are not available for that country, then you are not required to submit police certificate in that case. And secondly, like in the case of all other documents that you have to submit, if you cannot obtain a police certificate for any reason, you must submit a written explanation why, along with your other documents. And that brings us to the end of today's discussion. Thanks for watching this video, and as usual, if you have questions or comments, leave them in the comment area below, and I will see you, God willing, in the next video. Goodbye.